Give me my theme music!
What's up, Buffs Nation, and welcome into Buffs News Weekly Live. I'm your host, Russ Dornish, and welcome to today's Monday stream. Just a couple of things we're going to cover, but before we get to that, make sure, of course, as you join us today, hit that like, drop some comments into the chat. Happy to chat back and forth with you guys today. And then we are going to, of course, cover the spring depth chart preview based on, if you didn't already see it, college football website, Our Lads posted a preview of what they thought the depth chart was. Using that, I kind of put together a depth chart, but I did make some changes because I thought there was a couple spots on their depth chart that just looked didn't make sense. And you guys will hopefully see it. Love to get your comments and ideas on the depth chart that I'll pull up here and we'll go through together. Wanting to get your guys' ideas on anything that should be changed or what you want to see as far as the team goes for the spring, and any sort of position battles that you might think we have outside of course, the obvious ones with like the quarterback. But before we get to the depth charts and all that information, I know that I've been talking about this for a couple weeks. Wanted to give you guys a little bit of an update that I'm actually allowed to share with you guys now. And I'll also explain why I wasn't able to share with you. I know a lot of you were like, just tell us, just us. Yeah, go ahead and tell us. And I really couldn't. But the news and information is that this summer, I will be moving back to Colorado. And not only that, but we are going to be moving not that far outside of Boulder. Yes, I'm going to be the Buffs News Weekly, and I'm going to be one of the few content creators out there that'll actually be located in Colorado and located outside of Boulder, to kind of tie along with the local beat reporters, DNVR, and that's pretty much it. Everybody else who content creates, including myself currently, are all located outside the state of Colorado at the moment. So I will be going back to Colorado. Super excited to go back to Colorado, be with our friends, family, and just get to live in Colorado once again. Absolutely love the state. If you've been to Boulder, if you've been to the area, you know just how wonderful it is. So things are going to be kind of going up and down over the next couple months. The plan is we're moving in June. So I'm going to do my best to keep you guys completely updated on the channel, to still do the live streams. I'll do the best that I can. There might be some periods where I won't have a ton of time, especially as we get our house ready to sell, looking for a new house in the area of Northern Colorado, and getting that all together. And if you already know, moving multiple states is not an easy thing to do. What's up, East Coast Kev? Appreciate you. Salute to you. Thank you, Adrian. I appreciate it. Super excited to get to do this. What's up, Coach Dre? Appreciate you dropping by as well. But yeah, part of the reason I couldn't share that we were moving, we found out a couple weeks back that it was going to be happening. My wife's job is transferring her back. That's part of the reason that we're even here in the first place. Again, Colorado native. My wife's a Colorado native. Her job brought us to Montana. Her job's bringing us back to Colorado. But part of the process is, it's just a very weird process for her type of job, is that she gets a phone call saying, hey, we want you to go for this job. Okay, then we had to fly out there literally within a day's notice back to Colorado to meet with her new location so that they could just approve that they do in fact want her to move there. They did that, and then we also had to wait for her to tell her job here currently that she's being transferred, because there is relationships, feelings, people involved with my wife's job. And so it's not as simple as just a simple transfer. Nobody cares. There's a lot more to it. And so we weren't allowed to say anything until everybody directly related to the move found out, which happened yesterday. So that happened. We announced it here. They announced it there publicly. And so because of that, we will be going back to Colorado, and I could actually share that with all of you. So if you're watching this later on, let me know in the comments. I appreciate all the support as always. Of course, everybody here in the chat, all the regulars, anybody new coming in. Just thank you guys so much for letting me be able to do this. And I'm very excited to see where this goes with the channel now that I'll be more local. I'm going to try and do a lot more things when it comes to being local, see what I can do, try and connect and network a little bit more, see if that can get anything going as far as the channel goes. So a lot of stuff that's going to kind of come from this, that I hope comes from this. So I'm very excited to get to do that and to get to go back to, my home state, and of course, where the Colorado Buffaloes are located. So that's all going to be happening this summer, this spring. By the time July hits, by the time, the full season is in full swing, as far as summer workouts go and preseason and pre-camp and all that, we'll be all settled in and ready to go. Little bucket. I don't know what Coach Swayze doing, but Caden Salter looking bigger than when he first came here. Appreciate you, Hilda. Thank you so much. We are super excited. I hear Ed Reed is the next coach loading for CU. I have not heard that. We can talk about the one rumor that's out there. We'll go ahead and talk about it. Again, I'm going to say it's a rumor. I'm not trying to do this breaking news. I'm going to use my sources. I'm going to use what I have available online. Okay, if you guys follow Matt H., who is one of the best follows as far as Colorado football content on social media is concerned, he's kind of put together who the defensive line coach may end up being, who the new defensive line coach may end up being. And based on the responses from some people, I think he may be onto something. So Matt H. posted the fact that he believes, because again, ties to Robert Livingston, ties to Coach Prime, ties to everybody, having to do with the program. And that is that the rumor that he put out there today, based on, again, piecing together a whole bunch of tweets and other things, he believes that the new defensive line coach, whether that'll be the head coach or the, assistant coach, whether Sapp will get promoted or Sapp will stay in his same spot, is going to be Domata Peko. For those of you that don't know who that is, Peko was a defensive lineman in the NFL for a number of years, has most recently been helping out coach the Dallas Cowboys defensive line, and does have ties to the Colorado area, as towards the end of his career was a defensive tackle for the Denver Broncos. So a lot of connections there. His time at the Bengals, of course, and his connections to Robert Livingston, connections to other people on the staff, his connections to the Cowboys organization. There's just a lot of smoke when it comes to him potentially becoming one of the coaches on this staff. So be on the lookout for that. Not, breaking any news or anything like that. Going off of what Matt H. said on, social media. And that's what I saw. This is another piece of little bit of news, of course. Coach Stephen Houston, one of the strength and conditioning coaches, is now at FIU. So he has moved on. So another person from the strength and conditioning staff. To me, it's kind of making sense that the strength and conditioning staff is seeing some of this turnover. One, these guys are going and getting kind of promoted. They were either assistants or analysts or, smaller roles, and they're getting somewhat promoted to these other programs. The other part of it is that when you bring in a guy like Andrew Swayze, he's probably going to want to have a say in some of the guys he brings in. Now, Coach Mo is still here. Coach Reyes is still here. We lost a couple other strength and conditioning coaches over the offseason, and now obviously Coach Houston leaving. So we will see some more added players from there. Polymath, I remember Pecco from Madden. He's a pretty good defensive tackle in the game. He was a pretty good defensive tackle. Not that bad, solid. Appreciate you, Rob J. Yeah, hit that like button, guys, as we grow the audience right now. Up to 72 people in the chat. Hopefully we can get some more people in today. But, you know, again, when it comes to the coaching staff, anything is on the table when it comes to who's going to be on the team. So we'll see what happens, but that's the rumor right now. I want to just touch on before we get into the actual meat of today's episode, which is, of course, taking the depth chart from the Our Lads article where they teased and kind of projected out what the spring depth chart would be. And I made just a couple tweaks to it to kind of based on what I'll talk about the tweaks, and you probably will agree with the tweaks I made, but there's probably more that you guys will be like, I believe this should happen. I believe this should happen. This is going off of what they said, and I can kind of get what they're saying. There's going to be a couple spots where I'm sure you people are going to be like, no, that person shouldn't be starting. Got to remember, this is just going to be for the spring. If a player does not do well in the spring, you better bet your bottom that Coach Prime is going to go out and get somebody else to come in and compete for that spot if it's not looking good. Okay, so that is where we're at. Appreciate you, Shiny King. Shout out. Thank you so very much. Coach Dre Lady C, he took a job at a high school that his son is at, so I don't think it is. Yeah, I saw him take that job. I think if his son's there, he's going to stay there for at least a little while. So I don't think that's going to be the next one. But like I said, I think the defensive line is the focus right now. That's where we have an opening on the staff. So that's going to be kind of where we go. And, you know, everything else is kind of falling into place. I love the offensive line room and who we have at coaching there now. You know, Matt McChesney already came out in his podcast last week and talked that he is going to be an official like consultant with the team. So it sounds like everything kind of worked out there. You know, all of that reaction and everything that happened was kind of just jumping the gun, so to speak. So all of that's there. I'm really liking the staff that Coach Prime is putting together as always. It is just proof yet again that Coach Prime's connections are what are really going to take this program, this university, this team to that next level. So appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. What's up, King John? Appreciate you dropping by. TK in the house. What is happening, TK? Appreciate you dropping by today. So yeah, just again to recap the beginning of the show, if you missed it, going to be moving back to Colorado this summer and going to be very, very close to Boulder, literally 25 minutes to Boulder is where we're going to be living. So, you know, who knows what that means? I'm going to try and work some magic, work some networking. And so we'll see if it can help out the channel and we can grow even more than we already are. Yeah, I saw that too. The article I read could be fake news. I think it's been a while. There's been a couple things that said that he's coaching there. Uncle Leany said that we should find out this week who the D-line coach is. Okay, so between that, Coach Dre, between the puzzle pieces, so to speak, that Matt's been putting together, which, by the way, Matt is just a private investigator and should be a private investigator. I wouldn't be surprised if it is, in fact, Domata Pecco. Keep an eye on that. If it is, we know who to credit that information to, and that would be Matt H. Okay. I'm not the one breaking that info. I don't have any inside sources. I'm going off of what he said on social media, and I do appreciate Matt and his ability to look into things, be a part of that. You know, always make sure you're following Matt H over on X. He is going to be your best bet for a lot of inside info because he is tied into the program. Yep, relationships do matter. I wanted Matt to be somehow involved or doing something. I didn't want him to be, you know, disconnected from the program, and luckily he's not. He's going to be a part of it, and so we'll see what that does. Appreciate King John. Yes, you got it, my guy. Network that thing up. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens. Again, I will try and do my best, you know, connect with the DNVR folks, connect with, you know, the different guys in the program. I do have an in at the school that does have a relationship with Coach Prime because of their role at the school. And I've already talked to them a little bit. So we'll see if that, you know, can lead to anything as well. But it's going to all be about networking and see what I can do to grow this channel once I'm in the backyard of the team and can do different things with that. So whether or not that's possibly the ability of covering the team directly and, making Buffs News Weekly an official, official news source, we'll have to see what that would take. I know that the last time I looked into it with the program, they did want to see a website, not just a video channel associated with it. So may have to do just something to throw together a Buffs News Weekly website or something where I can post, my videos directly and maybe a little bit of articles on there as well to kind of get it more official and potentially look at, what it might take for some media credentials or something in the future. Who knows? We will see what happens. Coach Dre, what episode Neely said that on? I think it's the most recent one because he did talk with Coach Sapp, just talked to Coach Sapp. If it is that coach, that may be one of the few guys that weren't a guy of Prime that was hired because Pecco seems more of a Livingston hire. He does have connections, though, to Prime in the past as well. Hey, guys, and this is what you guys have been wanting. You wanted to have some Polynesian influence on this program, and Domata Pecco definitely has that with his connections to the NFL, and I think he'd be a great hire to add with Coach Sapp. Yeah, appreciate you, Coach Dre. Just have the faith. You're going to do great up there. Watch and see. I appreciate that. He said the hire will change recruiting for a region. I mean, Pecco would do that. Guys. You hear the news, Stephen Houston. Yep, CU trainer is taking a position at FIU. Yes, I did see that happen. Yep, last night's episode. So if you guys want to go after this, watch the pregame show's episode last night. You guys will get that info. We should be getting that info very shortly again, which is why I think that is probably a good link. Pecco linked to all those poly kids down here in SoCal, including Chris Henry Jr. He's from LA. Yeah, the Southern California, western part of the country is gonna heat up, guys, if that's who we got. What's good, everybody? Okay. Let's pull up my depth chart, okay? So this one actually is a depth chart, guys, okay? I know that I've shown this a couple times. I've made some moves, some switcheroos based on just some research, looking at other people's potential depth charts, looking at where players have played. So again, just guessing where some of these guys might end up. And I tried to divide up the roster kind of evenly. So what I mean by that is I don't just have everybody loaded up at nose tackle or defensive tackle or, load them up at this. I tried to even it out across the board for now for depth. Obviously, these players are going to shift during the spring, whether they leave, whether we bring in more guys. This is just a preliminary depth chart as we go into the spring season. So, without further ado, here we go. Okay, so right now we're going to look at the offense first. Of course, we'll start with the quarterback position. I think for now to start, again, because part of the problem is Julian Lewis obviously came in with an injury, obviously just a little bit behind the 8-ball, just a little bit. And Caden Salter, guys, is a good quarterback. I have watched all of his tape at Liberty. I've watched all the games that he has played. The guy is really, really good, guys. Last year, he didn't put up the same numbers he did the year before, but if I'm being honest, Liberty as a team was much worse than they were the year before. They lost a lot of talent, and so Caden Salter was throwing to a lot of guys who did not need to be playing at that level and will not be the same guys that he has at this level in the Power 4. So Caden Salter, number 1, Julian Lewis, number 2, Ryan Staub, number 3, and Dominique Ponder, number 4. Now, another reminder, guys, some of the walk-ons and things like that are not going to be on this depth chart. I'm not going to go down to the 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th position in these spots. I'm going to get you guys that are most likely going to rotate in, okay? Have a very good chance of rotating in to specific spots during the season, okay? So, out of this, of course, I have our number 1 receiver. I'm going to give it to Omarion Miller. He has, this comment right here. he has the most potential out of any of the guys here. He could be one of the best top 10 wide receivers in the country if he is able to do what he can and stay healthy. Now, again, a lot of things that can happen, but I'm just saying, based on pure skill, ability, I think he's the number one guy. Draylon Miller, I think, has the slot locked up. He played really well last year as a freshman. He has beefed up a ton, guys. I don't know if you've noticed this in the videos. I don't know if you have noticed this in my videos, or in the video, sorry, Well Off and Reach the People and all of that stuff. Draylon Miller has bulked up. Omarion Miller has bulked up. Dallin Hayden looks massive, okay? Absolutely massive. Okay. So I think Draylon has that locked up. I think Cam is going to be right behind him in that slot, kind of that, as Sean Payton said this year, or this offseason for his Broncos, and being a Broncos fan, Cam Michael and Quentin Gibson are probably going to be your jokers in the offense. The playmakers that you can move around, do different things, line them up in the backfield, line them up at receiver. Those guys are going to have a big part about this. Okay. And then Joseph Williams, he came in to start, guys. He did not flip from Utah just to not be a part of this team. He has the skills and the tools necessary to be there. I think it's going to be Joseph Williams and Terrell Timmons who are going to battle it out for that second receiver spot. That's why I have Terrell Timmons over here, but he very well could be in the spot. Notice I've relisted some guys multiple times. That's going to be just dependent on the situation and what's going on. Okay. Now, as far as the line goes, I'm already getting some comments, questions about that. I think, and again, I get it. I know that he played right guard. I think they move Zy Chrysler to the left guard to really just completely dominate that left side of the line. And agreed right here with Swouse or Swousey, sorry. Bet Chrysler moves to left guard. That left side of the line becomes the strongest part of the line. It would allow some double teams on the right-hand side of the line, guys, using the running back, using the tight end. Let the left side take care of itself. Let the right side get a little bit of help if it's a little less strength. Now, the one that I know a lot of people are going to question is my Tyler Brown, Phillip Houston on the right side. I'm doing this simply based on who's been in the system, where they're at going into spring. Guys, it's a little bit harder as a newer player to overcome somebody who's been here for a while. Okay. So if everything is kind of even, you're going to go with the guys who know the system, who know what's going on, who know what's happening here. So Tyler Brown, Phillip Houston, but I would not put it behind Mana Taimani and Aki Ogunbiyi having a chance to move up and start. Also, Chauncey Gooden and Cardi Smith could surprise us and move up that depth chart as well. Just because they're listed third here does not mean I do not think they don't have a chance. They're not guys that I'm like automatically assuming they're redshirting next year. So I want to make that very clear. As far as the center goes, I know I love Cash Cleveland. I absolutely do. Okay. But I think they brought Zarian McGill into Colorado to start. I think they brought him in to be the starting center. And I think they're going to do the spring and see what happens. Now, if Cash Cleveland continues his development, continues growing, continues getting stronger, then I absolutely believe he has a chance to overtake him by the time the season starts. So that's going to be a battle to watch, guys. The center is going to be a battle to watch. And on top of that, you cannot not take into account what the quarterback wants. The quarterback does get a say in the center because maybe, Caden Salter or Julian Lewis have a preference on who snaps the ball. They may like somebody's snap a little bit better. They may trust somebody a little bit better. That could also play into who starts there. Of course, running back right now, I do have Augustov, number 1, Michael Welsh, number 2, Dallin Hayden, 3. That Charlie Offerdahl is just kind of there. That could also be Brandon Hood. That could also be Isaiah Harge if they float him in there and go both ways. That's just what I think it is right now. Again, I think by the end of the spring season, I think Brandon Hood will move up the depth chart. I think guys like Taimani and Ogunbiyi, those guys can have chances to move up. As far as the tight end goes, Zach Atkins was brought in to be the guy. Okay. So I'm going to give it to him to start off. Savell Smalls will be the number 2 because he was the guy last year. However, if Sam Hart can stay healthy and continue development path, he very well could form a very nice 1-2 punch with Zach Atkins. And then, of course, once the 2 freshman tight end, really get time, start working with the team, move forward into the summer, they might be able to move up and have a chance at being a part of this offense when it comes to the tight end spot. Let me get your guys' thoughts on the offense before we move to the defense. Okay. Omarion Miller, Jordan Tyson, breakout potential. Agreed. Mike, Ryan Staub will not back up for a couple freshmen. Remember, Caden Salter's not a freshman. Caden Salter's a senior. It's the only thing we got to say with that. My guess is that Staub might transfer. Very well could happen. Coleman might get in that slot rotation. Yeah, I could see that too. Ronald Coleman might have a chance at that as well for that. And of course, I know somebody's I'm not even looking in the chat just yet. I'm sure somebody will talk about Caleb Mathis. But I think this is where we're at and who's going to get the majority of the carries. If Timmons not starting, he's leaving. I don't know. He might compete for it, guys. I mean, he might see it. Did y'all see Timmons versus Utah? He can go. That's mean. TK, I don't think so, bro, because he's going to play a lot. Yeah, see, that's the thing is Timmons is going to be that 4th receiver. If it isn't a starter, whoever's not the starter out of these 4 guys is going to be the 4th receiver on the field when we do a four wide receiver set. Tyler Brown should leave. He's horrible. Need to go back down a level. We'll see. I'll give him the chance. Tyler Brown would be a Pat Ricard level fullback, though. Hey, maybe. Houston has a torn ACL, does he? Did not know that. Did not realize that. Well, then maybe Ogunbiyi is going to be the right tackle. See, TK says right tackle is Houston's position to lose. Tyler Brown, no, I knew that was coming. When they put Tyler Brown in gray jerseys, said this got to be a joke. Russell at wide receiver. Are you talking about Cordell Russell? Because he's no longer on the team. Just wondering. Tyler Brown redemption year, says Allie. See? Tyler Brown doesn't need to go anywhere. They should have left him at guard. Y'all don't know what happened, SMH. I agree with that. Tyler moved around so much, guys. You got to realize that I want Tyler Brown on our team. Do you know why I want him on our team? Because he played out of position so much last year. So much. He did what was asked of him. Did it go well on the field? No. But how much of that was the fact that he was moving around and doing different positions? They were trying to find somewhere to put him, and they were filling in holes and gaps and things like that. I'm okay with him hanging out and see what happens, guys. I really am. Prime gonna chill. I don't think there's a favoritism there. Cardi Smith may play. He has that new archetype of the tackle, tall, slender type, kind of like those tackles on Notre Dame. I agree. Cardi and Chauncey have good chances to play this year. I like Cash. It's in his blood. Oh, agreed. Mike, I agreed. I do. I really do. Russ, you see a lot of pre-snap motion with Quentin Gibson, Cam Michael try. I hope we do. Eric, I hope we do. That's my point. I told you guys this, and I tell you guys this each and every video. If we do not see some more creativity out of the offense, then yes, I am putting all the blame on Pat Shurmur this year. I'm giving him a little bit of leeway and a pass for last year, guys. And a lot of people are with me on that. But if we don't start seeing that right away, I'm not going to be happy. Use the jokers you have on the team to be playmakers and to make the defense fall back on its heels. Part of the problem that we had too with Shedeur, with the offense, the teams knew what we were doing every play. So you could pin your ears back, get on your toes, and go after that quarterback each and every time. It made it extremely hard on the offensive line. It obviously made it hard on Shedeur as well. I'm not giving him a pass either, but the point is we need to see some more creativity out of this offense going into next year, and I'm hoping that happens. Why hasn't Prime offered cash scholarship yet? My guess is that it might happen over the summer. That's just my thoughts. Gonna be an O-line coach. Cash going to start. McGill going to have to prove himself. It's going to be a battle for sure. It's going to be a battle for sure, Bucket. I really do think that's going to be a battle to watch. You know, the quarterback one's the one we're all going to be watching, but pay attention to the center battle. Okay. I don't think Cash is going to leave. I don't think Cash is going to leave. I could actually see Chauncey. I mean, Chauncey's got the size, guys. He does. How much control do you think Salter or Lewis have in the play call? Do you see sure? I don't think they do. I think they'll be able to a little bit. Yes. It also depends on Salter's offense and how much he did it at Liberty. He may be just comfortable with the coach calling the plays and him just sticking to it and going from there. We'll find out for real. Fax Brown is a guard when he doesn't have to worry about tackle. We'll see a difference. I hope so. I do like Zane too. All 105 players will be scholarship players. There's no more walk-ons per the NCAA. That's correct. So we'll see that probably this summer. Big question mark for the O-line. I'm worried. I agree, but again, we're not done. We're not done, guys. This isn't. If this was the depth chart going into fall camp, then yes, I would be worried. I would be worried. Okay. Watch Staub go to Nebraska or Ohio State and ball. I don't think he will. He doesn't have the tape, Gualo. Like, could he in 2 years go to a Nebraska or Ohio State and ball out? Absolutely. But the thing is, if you don't have tape, they're not just going to take you. Okay. It's just the unfortunate part of it. And that's part of the reason that he needs to go get tape is he needs to have that tape so he can try and play at a higher level again. So he needs to go somewhere where he's going to play. Staub can go. He ain't getting playing time at CU. If Coleman got that slot rotation, I won't be watching. He's not power 4. Timmons, I don't know, man. I'm with TK. He has to show me. I'm not a believer just yet. Ooh, Cam Michael for kick and punt return. I like it. Houston, tore his ACL. When did he tear it, though? Like, what point of the season? I'm wondering how long he's going to be. You think Cardi's going to start day one? I like it. I like the... We'll have to come back to this if he does. Tyler Brown should have been moved to tackle. He's a guard. Should have never been moved. Gotcha. Gibson have a chance. Oh, Gibson's going to... They're going to utilize him. They're going to utilize him. Our guy had an off season, but believe we will see a better Tyler this season. Remember, he had to sit out a year. I agreed. I'm going to give him time. Ali says the wide receivers we got there are correct. Probably needs to implement more tight end play for red zone, short yard success. I want more tight end. I want more under center. I want more motion. I want some 2-back sets. Use that creativity like we saw. We saw it a couple times when he put Draylon back there and they did like a fake pitch handoff. Like those are the stuff that I want to see. Creativity. You got playmakers, guys. We have got playmakers. Okay, we really, really do. Hope to see Isaiah Hard starting wide receiver also. I think he'll get some play. I don't know if he's going to start, but I think he will get some play. Y'all find it strange that nobody followed Lode Holt? No. I think they came here for other reasons. I don't think they came here because of Lode Holt. Just so you know. I think the guys, you got to remember too, I think they had good connection with George Hegeman. And I think they did like Gunnar White. I really do. And then you add in now Andre Girard. Like, there's no reason to go to Mississippi. Pat Shurmur has to answer to Coach Prime, so Prime should be the one to blame. That's not Shurmur's 22 film we saw last year. That wasn't Shurmur's offense. Yep, I've said it 100 times. He's never played that type of offense. Pat was handcuffed. Pat Shurmur has all the weapons. He has to pull it all together. Agreed. Need the ones to go against the ones this year, not the backups. The good news is, hey, guys, just a reminder, the spring game is going to be must-see TV because we're going to get to see Caden Salter against Julian Lewis, the offense versus the offense, defense. Like, it's going to be great, okay? This is going to be a fun spring that we're going to get to see. And right now, so far, what we've seen of Julian Lewis throwing the ball a little bit, and then, the video of Caden Salter hucking the ball with Shador this past weekend. Woo-hoo-hoo. Caden's, I'm telling you guys, Caden Salter's really, really good. He is going to surprise some people. He really is. Cam and Quentin might be the team's burners. Take the top off the defense. You think they're the fastest on the team? Oh, I know. We know they are. We know that they're the fastest on the team. We do. Bucket Bro, remember that Sherman said that Shador had control in the playbook like Peyton and Brady, so we'll see a different playbook pattern. Q6 is high school fast right now, power forward, different level. Yes and no. Yeah, he's going to have to get up to speed and realize, but I think they could use him for a couple things, for sure. Second round of the portal yet to come. That's right, East Coast Kev. You get it. We all got it. John, you put Staub in front of Ponder. John, I'll be honest. I would interchange those two. To me, the third quarterback doesn't really matter at this point. Doesn't really matter. We'll figure it out once the spring is over, who that true third is, if there is one. Everyone be on scholarship. No one walk on anymore. Roster caps at 105. Yep, we're going to be good. Sure was scared to implement his offense. Wiseman started at FAU. Why can't Staub play for another team? I think he could. Russ, if Prime moves on, what? Houston tore it against Utah. Oh, so it was towards the end of the season. Okay, maybe he is going to be away for a while. Otis versus Cash going to be slaughtered badly, but that will make him ready for Big 12 D-men. It's going to be a tough battle for sure. Tough battle for sure. This should be a year for the offense that has to be unleashed. Shermer has more options than he knows what to do with. He should have a special play for all of them. You're getting $800K to not F around. I agree. Like I said, this is his make or break year. We will have a new offensive coordinator if the Shermer offense does not do what it needs to do this year. Russ, do you see Prime's contract extension by the end of spring? If not by the start, I think at the latest end of spring. I think by the beginning of spring. I think in the next month we see that extension. I know East Coast Kev. I know you don't love Jaheim Otis on that tape, but a couple things going against SEC. I think they'll get him right here. I have faith for now. Haven't seen Tajay much in the videos. I'm worried he may follow Dancy. I don't think he will. I think we're okay, guys. I've seen him a bunch. He was recently in the videos at lunch with some of the guys, I thought. If Coach Prime moves on for Pat Shermer and Sherman just steps down, who would you see being the new OC? There's a lot of options there, guys. There is a lot of options when it comes to the OC, who it could be. And heck, if we go a season, you want to know who I could see get promoted to OC? I could see Marshall Faulk. He wanted to be a head coach. Maybe Marshall Faulk is coming to eventually take over the OC. Just a thought. I was just going to mention him and throwing that ball. Oh, it was so good. I think everybody waiting close in that spring portal to see who leaves and who we get. Of course, this is just a preliminary spring depth chart. It's going to be massively different once the spring settles for sure. The offensive play calls were centered around the trenches, which is suspect all season. Pat will get her done in 25. I love that Coach Swayze make Mata doing the same workouts as everybody else. Tajay is one of the Prime's little league kids. Yeah, he's had connections. He's not going anywhere. What's the line on the first game for rushing yards? I'm trying to lock in that first game bets. I feel like this is a TCU moment. King John, I would take the over on a rushing right now before people find out. With Marshall Faulk, with the line that we're adding, with the coaching staff we have, with the quarterback that we have, by the way, with Caden Salter rushing for 1,000 yards 2 years ago, I think you take the over on rushing now before people become wise. This is like the over and under win total in Prime's first year. This is like that TCU game. I think there's free money sitting out there when it comes to the over and under on rushing yards this time. Lowell, people don't see someone, Coach Dre, and all of a sudden they're leaving. I know. It gets annoying. We have too much connection. This team will have the least amount of turnaround this year than in the past. I mean, we've been doing great so far, if you guys really think about it. I mean, the biggest loss was Nakai Hill Green, which sucked, but, not that much else. K-Salt loves his tight end. We're good. Atkins, I hope. I don't see why everyone sees an Isaiah Welch some more complete back. I mean, they're both. I think it's a two-headed monster with them. I think both do a great job and do things on their own. What I loved about Welch, and you can go back and watch his tape from this past season, the guy rarely got tackled in the backfield. Like, the guy was getting 2 to 3 yards a pop even when he got hit at the line of scrimmage. So just so you guys know, when it comes to that, that's part of the reason that I do like Augustov. How many players do you think were drafted 4.5 under? Let's see. So we've got Shador, Travis, LeJounte for sure. And I'm going to say, I'm going to go with the over, Buffs. I'll go with the over. I think we get 5. I think 5 happen. Russ, do you see if a problem if Salter has more rushing yards than the running backs? No, I don't, because look at what happened with Shador. You got to remember that in the college game, sack yards count as rushing yards, which is why Shador's rushing yards were so bad. And honestly, the team's rushing yards were that much worse because of that component. So if Caden Salter is getting good rushing yards, then we're being successful and he's not getting sacked. Other things would open up at that point. So I do agree on that. And East Coast Kev, hammer that. We got to hammer that hard. I can't wait. By the way, moving back to Colorado, thank you, Colorado, for being a state that allows sports betting versus the state I'm in now that does not allow sports betting except for very inconvenient ways. And so I'm excited to get back there. I'm going to hit that one. I'm going to hit some of the rushing totals. I'm going to hit a few of those really, really hard. Really, really hard. They are literally a two-headed monster. Rev, you get it. You get it. Welsh is a beast for a short size. He's a little bowling ball. He is. Russ, you like that right tackle from North Alabama, Michael Clay? Haven't taken a look at him. I mean, we need a right tackle bad. Hey, Quinnell's on there for a reason. I think he gets some pull, kind of like Draylon did his first year. IA is complete back. Got to remember that they were limited coaching with running back, going through medical problems. So it was dark cloud, but they're good now. Depending on the situation, could call Isaiah, then some Welsh. Need Welsh to be a bowling ball between the tackle. Yep, exactly. I don't bet, but honestly, I am sure tempted. It's been easy this last couple years as a Buffs fan. You know, we've had easy money plays. Okay, let's move on to the defense here. Okay, we're moving on to the defense. Here is what we have, guys. I know. Actually, I like the defense that I've put together more than the offense. I think there's a lot less unknowns when it comes to this. You guys let me know. We'll start left to right and go through this, okay? So corners, I have the same starters from last year minus Travis, of course. DJ, Preston, Colton. I think that's a solid DB room. I think now when I look at this, the depth is okay. It's not as bad as I once thought it was, but I still think we need to figure that out just a little bit, okay? I think I need to figure that out just a little bit. Now, outside of that, Nathaniel Watson, Ivan Yates, I do think Makari Vickers is going to start at corner, okay? I think he's going to start at safety. Sorry. I think he's going to start at safety, but I think he's going to be depth for corner if we need it. But I think this is going to be a battle right here, guys. I think it'll be between Carter and Makari to start. I think that'll be a spring battle to watch at safety. I think strong safety. I think Tafiq is your starter. Okay. I think he's going to be a big part of this defense. Huge part. And Ivan Yates, RJ Johnson, Isaiah Harge is going to be in there. You got Malachi, you got Ben Boozy coming in as depth pieces. So that's going to round out your defensive backs. Now, as far as the defensive line, and I already see a comment about this, guys, I get it. Okay. When you guys look at the left and right edge, do realize that it does not matter who starts. Okay. It is going to be a pure rotation back there. You are going to be constantly rotating between Tajay McCoy, Keaton Wade, Sam Okunlokla, and Arden Walker, guaranteed. Throwing in some Quincy Wiggins, some Alexander McPherson might get some play. Brandon Davis Swain, London Merritt will probably get some play. We can rotate every down if we wanted to, okay? Or every series if we wanted to. Keeping guys fresh, that's an important thing, okay? That is a very, very important aspect to the defensive line. Staying fresh, being ready to go, being ready to pin back your ears. And some of these guys are going to do better at the run. Some guys are going to be better at the pass. We'll figure that out as the season goes, and those guys will get the majority of either run downs or pass downs, depending on what it has going on, okay? East Coast Kev, I appreciate you so much. You might want to bet those Colorado games now. Once you move back to the state, FanDuel doesn't let you bet on in-state. They don't wait. They don't? East Coast, they don't let you bet on in-state games? I can't bet now because I literally can't. Like, I live in a state where I can't. Oh, that's just wonderful. Let's see. Bounce ball is how you win ships. CU a successful squad who can only pass. Carter Stoutmeyer may play safety. Yep, I think that's a battle we're gonna see. I think it absolutely is. I see it. I would swap RJ Nathaniel. Okay, I'm fine with that. I'm open to that. We'll see what happens on that. Dude, slow to me, BYU tack dude, and he couldn't stop. Actually, Nathaniel and Harge. Okay, so you think Nathaniel and Harge would swap, so Harge would go to slot. I could see that as well. Keaton Wade's still injured. He's not starting. He'll be fine. He'll be fine. We'll see. Byard is your Cam Silman Craig. Yep, exactly. Hudson's not an edge. We'll see. They might rotate him around. I don't know if he's big enough yet to be a defensive tackle right now. Brandon Davis is a 3 tech now, not an edge. Okay. Oh, McPherson's a bad man. They need him to play. He's gonna play, guys. Russ, you see Rob Livingston changing the defense much? He did say his defense will be predicated on who is on defense. Rob Livingston has an embarrassment of riches on the defensive side. I think it will, because here's the thing, guys. I think that it's going to be a development. Rob Livingston is still a young coach. He's still new to this. He's going to learn new things. He's going to go talk to mentors. He's going to study new defensive schemes and new ideas. It's going to constantly evolve when it comes to him. He's not locked into his scheme just yet as a defensive coordinator. So we will see a lot of different stuff. Okay. I like the way you think, Russ. I like all the starters on defense. That pass rush will be relentless. Sheesh. Every one of those guys can pass rush. That's what I'm saying. Now, when you look at this, guys, I thought about this when I put this together, by the way. Now it kind of makes sense that Deion Hayes left. You know what I mean? I think he saw it and he's like, I don't want to be a part of like a 3-person deep rotation. I want to try and be a guy somewhere or, have more playing time, a little less, competition there. That's got to be my guess to why he left, because we are deep. I mean, the emergence of Keaton Wade is probably what made Deion Hayes leave, if we're being honest. I mean, you guys would agree with that, I hope. I hope we would agree with that. Alex and London are bad boys. Oh, yeah, they are going to be a 2-headed monster on the outside for years to come. For years to come, they are going to be bad man. You got Byard. I'd agree better than Shiloh, but better than Cam, too. No disrespect. Hey, I love it. D Swan going to have a year. Okay, like it. And then the linebackers were easy, guys. Reginald Hughes and Martavius French, they are the dogs in that room. They're going to start. Jalen Wester will rotate in a little bit. Jeremiah Brown might rotate in a little bit. Kylan Salter's your depth special teams piece. Mantrez Walker is going to be, a guy that's going to develop and I think eventually take over that job. So I think that's where we're at when it comes to that, for sure. Wade isn't injured. He's good now. See, I didn't think he got injured. Got to see these new guys play to make a judgment. I totally get that. Well, of course we do. I can only see a hole now that the strength and conditioning is now a thing with the new guys and last year's started. I mean, they're getting big quick, guys. They're getting big quick. They will strategically play players. Other teams will be looking to poach guys who show out. Don't expect to see everyone. I do like that. Carter isn't better than Makari, and that's a fact. That's why I had him first. I think it's going to be a battle. I do think in the end, Makari wins out. I agree with the rotations, keeping those guys fresh and playing them. Depth is trash. Will become a problem in November. Which depth, though? Because you cannot tell me the defensive line depth is a problem. Okay. The cornerback depth, sure. I have always said that we're going to need something there because we're going to struggle. What up, Robert? We're talking depth chart. You might want to go back to the beginning of the stream, too, to hear my announcement if you're looking for that. So you might want to go back. Wait, wasn't Wade injured at the beginning of the season last year? He might have been because he was going to redshirt. Then he finally played and balled out, and they took his red shirt away because he was so good. Let's be real. Prime and Carter Dad close friends. That's why he'll win the safety spot, but he's not better than Byard Vickers. We'll see, because he wasn't a starter last year, guys. We'll see. Ain't no way we don't lead the Big 12 in sacks again. I'd agree on that. Between our defensive coaches, defensive line coaches, and who we've got right here, that is a room. I honestly, almost every single person in our edge room could start at another Big 12 school. People agree with that one? Worried BDS going to hit the portal? We'll see. We'll see. I hope he gives it another year. Tavian Coleman over to Feek and Anquan 1,000%. Okay. Okay, I can see that. Hudson, a defense tackle, maybe sat for a reason, but may not play as much this season because of depth. Yeah, that's fine. I have him there, just in case. Maybe for his first year, he gets thrown out there a couple times. Who knows? We needed that depth last year a couple times. Met Carter in the Love Field Airport, Dallas last month. He's bigger than y'all. No. Hey, that's good. I'm glad that he's growing. Do you see Coach Prime being able to bring Aaron Donald to coach? I mean, that's a pipe dream. I don't think that's going to happen. If you missed it earlier, Eric, I think the new defensive line coach is going to be Delmata Pecco. That's what I think. Yeah, I think it's going to happen just based on everything I'm seeing. I think that's what's going to be announced this year. So we'll see. We'll see if that's what the case. Wade is definitely still injured, y'all. Not updated. He didn't play in the BYU game. He was in a boot. He was seen in the background last week in a boot and reached the people video. Okay. How did Coach Prime grab 2 DNs with elite first steps, man? That is crazy. London and Alexander are sick, guys. I absolutely love their tape. I love that they're already ready to go. IMG Academy is no joke, guys. We need to keep that pipeline going and just get IMG guys because those kids can ball out day one. I don't believe in Carter. He's gotten crispy burnt 2 years in a row. I hope I'm wrong, but he might be the weak link. Davis Swain, yeah. Michigan. I think depending on the teams, we swap linebackers in case of run-heavy offense, but we need all the linebackers to cover sideline, limit, exposed. And trust me, guys, Martavius French and Reginald Hughes can cover side to side. They are our most complete linebackers, okay, and most experienced. Jalen Wester is a pretty good complete linebacker, but still growing on that experience. I think we see Reginald and Martavius, and I think Martavius is going to be the captain of that defense. He's going to be the Mike linebacker. I can see a lot of players leaving. I don't know about you. I wish college had a preseason, if nothing else, being able to use the spring game and play another school. I've heard other coaches say they want to. And here's an interesting thing, Eric, just so you know. Other college sports do that. Okay. As a college sport athlete myself, spring season was exactly that. It was our preseason. It was our chance to go up against other teams. We would play other teams from other divisions. We would do scrimmages. We would go to different places. Like it was a smaller, 4-week season where we played 3 games in that 4-week period. And they would be, one time we played Air Force. I was at a Division II school. We jumped up, played Air Force. One weekend, went down and played them. We played a community college. We brought in, a junior college at one point. So it happens in other sports, but for whatever reason, football just does not do that in the spring. And I think we should. I think you want to sell more tickets and make the spring game that much more exciting. Put it up against somebody. What position does Gage Goldberg play? He works hard, never here receiving anything. Linebacker, still. Well, he won't be a walk-on if he continues on the team. They keep him, but depth. He's making his way up. He needs to develop. That's for sure. The players are so locked in right now. I don't see many leaving in the spring. This might be our main roster. I think we might see 1 or 2 leave, but I think we're going to bring in 5 or 6 more. Just roster. The strength conditioning Swayze is installed will help in November. I can see a few linebackers leaving. Okay, interesting. I mean, we just brought all the linebackers in, really, unless we're talking about the walk-ons. Yeah, I agree, Russ. Every single one of those pass rushers is going to start at any Big 12 school. London and Christian seem low. Okay, Eric, just remember, those ones are rotational spots. So they absolutely are considered in that rotation, if I'm being honest. Vickers for sure better than Stoutmeyer. He'll prove that in the spring. Heartbroken to see Nakai. I was too. I meant it isn't, lol. Okay. He's doing good on special teams, cleaning clocks, guys, hitting. Yeah, Just followed you. Do you really think Gage is behind Mantres? I don't know about that. I mean, we could put Gage above him. Could put Gage above him. He could compete into that spot, King John. I can see that. Again, when it comes to the depth pieces, I mean, I'm open to any thoughts. Though that's a little bit different than the starters. I think that's what's more important is, the top of the depth chart, and then the rotational pieces, obviously knowing that those are going to be rotational. But, when we look at everything else, I think we're close. There's going to be some battles. There's going to be some shifting. I think, again, this is just what I think we're going to go into the spring with. Out of spring, probably going to be completely different. Going into the summer, going to be way different. Just things to keep an eye out on as we go into practice, as we go into the spring game, and see what who's on the first offense, who's on the first defense, and vice versa. But this gives you an idea on paper of what we're looking at, where we might need a little bit more depth, a little bit more pieces. We might want a couple more linebackers. We might want a couple more DBs. We definitely need some more offensive linemen, even though we've added a bunch. So those are all things that we got to keep an eye on when the portal opens up again. Mantres got bigger in his 1 month span. Go rewatch when first introduced there yourself now. Mantres the same size as Western. He's a freshman. I don't know. He's going to show out. I love Mantres. I really do. Good kid too. Met him at the spring game last year. Was super, super excited to be there and super excited to be with Colorado. Are we serious? Gage Goldberg is not better than Mantres. We'll have to find out. We're going to see it on the field, guys. We're going to see it on the field. Okay. So yeah, that's our depth chart for spring. Hopefully not too far off. Hopefully you guys appreciate some of it. And yeah, of course, there's always room for interpretation. That's why I love talking with you guys, chatting about this, having the debates here in the off season with you guys. So absolutely love getting to do this and talk about it, getting to talk about it. And I think Western's still going to play. I mean, I really do. I really do. Okay, guys. Well, again, make sure hit that like button. Those of you that missed the beginning, go back, watch. Just real quickly, again, moving back to Colorado this summer, guys. So super excited, super stoked. I'll keep you guys all updated with everything going on. Hey, make sure you guys are following the Twitter account. If you are not over on X, that is where I do literally breaking news. Retweeting. I collect all of the news, all of the college football news, post it there, breaking news. I post when we're going to go live. So if, I know how YouTube notifications are, they're not always the best, but you'll know when a live is coming up through Twitter as well. So make sure you guys are following me over there. We hit the 800 mark pretty easily, which I loved. For a while there, I was stuck at 400 and we blew up for a little bit. Right now sitting at 821 followers over on the Twitter sphere, and we are at the halfway point to from 4,000 to 5,000 subs. So make sure you have that subscription turned on and the bell notification on YouTube. So I appreciate you guys. So I'm going to call it for today. I appreciate everybody watching, tuning in, giving all the good lucks and the congratulations in the chat for the move. Appreciate you guys coming alongside as we check out the depth chart. Something fun to do. I'll try and come up with some more creative things. If I have to copy other people, we'll copy other people and we'll discuss it together. I like doing that as well. I'll give them credit for their ideas, but we can chat about it too. Figure out some things that we want to talk about here in the off season. So we're getting even closer to spring practices. We're about 2-3 weeks away. So keep an eye out for that. Hey, I think, that Coach Prime extension will come eventually here before the season. So appreciate that. But yeah, that's going to do it for me today. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. As always, for Buffs News Weekly Live, I'm your host, Russ Dornish. And as always, Go Buffs!